it's another side that like wants to take more, wants to go that one more round, because like going that one more round when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. You know what I mean?
Hello and welcome to another episode of One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast. I am your host, Ryan, and I'm the guy talking. If you're watching this on YouTube, you don't see our names, apparently. I don't know where the names went. We're going to figure that out for the next episode on StreamYard here. And below me is Kyle, and above him, on his left, my right, whatever that is Katie, the one female. So, Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Living my life. I stayed up and watched the Mike Tyson fight. Yeah, that was sad to watch, but you know.
Did you watch the pre-fight, the two fights before the final fight, the two fights before the Tyson fight?
You know what? I wish I did.
Weren't there three of them?
There was a bunch. But the two, I just remember the two, I don't know the class, what welter class or whatever, but they're legit. It was a title fight. Well, I think both were title fights.
They were. I think the one with the two female boxers, that was a title fight. And a controversial one at that.
Both were, apparently. What I will say about this whole shenanigans we can say whatever about Tyson and Paul. It was a fix, was a rig? Did he carry him? Was it a show? Yes to everything, probably. However, regarding the two fights before, it's been a long time since I've watched a real match. I was like, wow, this. So I think at the very least, Netflix has actually reignited maybe some interest in boxing again.
The lighter weight classes are often more fun to watch.
And those gals they were tough. Oh, their punches they were throwing were connecting, and faces were bloodied. It was, I'm telling you,
a headbutt in this one woman's eye was like wide open.
And she didn't want to quit. Her fortitude and her that's what I was watching. I was watching the drama. She's like, no, she's like, you're not pulling me out of this match. And they're doing what they can with the goop and the guck and everything to stop bleeding. And so if you haven't watched it, folks, it's still on Netflix. You can still watch it. Watch the two fights before the Tyson Paul fight, because those are legit boxing. It got me excited for boxing again. Like, I'm actually kind of want to watch it again. I want to follow some of these people and their storylines are really cool. But yeah, Tyson Paul, sure. I don't know. Yeah.
As soon as I saw Mike in the ring, just the way he looked in his disposition, I was like, this is not good. Some of his training videos, he looked really fast and really agile, and I was like, holy shit. I fell for the hype. I fell for it. The result was what you think would happen if a 58-year-old fought a 27-year-old. As much as I don't really like Jake Paul, what I do like is he really could have teed up on him and hurt him the last few rounds. Well, he didn't completely carry him. He wasn't like a dick who tried to basically put Tyson in the hospital.
No, he was respectful, and that's why he did a little bit of a bow at the end of the fight. He did it because he was
that was nice.
He could have kept going and laid him out. Just with his fatigue levels, he wasn't as tired as Tyson. He could just sit there and start just punching him, but he danced with Tyson. He gave Tyson the 8 rounds,
and it was only 2-minute rounds too.
Yeah. Tyson his legs were gone in round 2. And he's 58, so it was what it was. Some people
show.
Really
it was a show. I think it's a damn show, and it was.
What did you think of the end, though, when they asked him, when the announcers sort of gave him an out, but he didn't take it? When they asked him or did you do what you wanted to do? And he's like, this ain't over. I want to do it again, or something to that effect.
Still part
of the show. And then he was saying to his brother, "Oh, Logan, you're next."
Yeah, sure. No,
the announcers were trying to give him an out, and him saying
he's just being silly. It's just like when Ric Flair had his final match, and he says, "I'm not sure I'm done," but they're done. They're done. Their handlers will make sure that he doesn't go back in the ring. That it's over. His handlers won't allow it. Katie, I should ask first off how you're doing, but before you answer, yes, Donald, I agree. It's amazing how close this was to the Rocky Balboa storyline. It's kind of cool to see real life mimicking art, because Sly's character Rocky was close to 60 in that film. I think it was actually 59. Both the character and the actor Sly was 59 in that film, which is only a year older than Tyson is in this. So it's really kind of cool to see that similarity. It's just ironic that the fight in Rocky Balboa was more realistic in a weird way. It's hard, the size that Sly was and the size that Tarver was, and you could almost see that kind of fight actually happening if the characters were real. But anyways, Katie, how are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm a little under the weather. I sound funny. I'm sorry. I'm a little heady. I've got a cold, but bear with me, everyone.
Hey, you're wearing the colors of the podcast thumbnail. Look, you're wearing the thumbnail.
I have.
Green.
Well, I have my Reykjavik hat and my Iceland mug here.
Oh, okay.
Might have to move there.
Iceland swag. I like it. Okay, well, I hope you're doing well. We're glad to see your happy smiling face from us fellow Canadians to you, a fellow U.S. citizen. We're happy to see you. We're happy to see your lovely face, and let's have a fun show today, shall we? But before we get into the YouTube comments, we didn't get any emails, and I did mean to send you guys UK Dave's fantasy casting for a Rocky prequel. I'm sorry, the 2 weeks got away from me. I got to my emails. I'm like, it's evergreen. It's an evergreen thing that we can talk about. We can talk about it 5 months from now. It's not going to change. But I want to get it to you guys sooner than later. But I want you guys to have a time to sit on it, not just drop it on you. Because again, I want you to see what he chose and what you would choose instead. It would make for a better discussion than on the fly discussion. So I will send those to you this week. Secondly, UK Dave also did a charity fight. He did the charity fight for cancer, I believe it was, and he did say he's going to send us a video link for that. So hopefully by the next episode we can see this footage of UK Dave stepping in the ring and throwing a fist with somebody. So that's kind of funny. Lastly, round 14. So some of you might listen to this podcast on the podcast network. So if you listen to this podcast on the podcast network, because also this podcast has a standalone feed, so some people don't listen to the network, they just listen to this, or on YouTube, I should say, as well. So there's 3 different places you can listen to the show. So Round 14 is a podcast on the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network. And they do a weekly show, sometimes 2 episodes a week, depending on their topics. But they do a weekly show. They're huge Sly fans, huge boxing fans, and they're just sweet guys. At the end of the day, they're sweet guys. There's not a malice bone in their body. And they run their own show, and they're on the network. And I invited them on the network, which I'm not saying I'm a saint, but I'm saying, hey, guys, you want to get a bigger audience or, a larger audience, come on the network. We'll drop your audio show because they do a YouTube show. So I take their audio and put it on the network. Okay. Well, John Rivoli, the famous artist from Icons in Art, who I've interviewed a couple times, who's come on my show a few times, he was with them at the Rocky Run in Philadelphia. So they did some live events. So this is the Rocky community that we have. John's been on my show. John goes on their show, and it's all gravy. Now, when grandparents tell their grandkids, you're my favorite grandkid.
They say it to every grandkid, you mean?
Yeah. John Rivoli is at the Round 14 tent or whatever display at the Rocky Run in Philly. And they did a draw where somebody got to win free art from John's art. It's pretty cool. So they did a draw. They drew the name. So you'll see John holding the winner. But I just want you to watch the rest of the video.
But thank you all for watching, your continued support. Make sure you check out John and Icons in Art. Man, if you haven't seen that site yet, you are missing something. There you go, right there. That's some amazing, beautiful work.
Well, thank you. And this is the best Rocky podcast out there. Round 14 podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
Keep punching, everyone.
My heart was broken. John, you have said the same to me. But he did it in private, so I didn't take the recordings or the text. I could show you the Facebook messages where I'm the best podcast that he's ever been on. I'm telling you, my heart broke. My heart broke a little bit, John. But it's okay. It's okay. I know it stung a little bit. If I was there, would he have said the same thing to me?
What if you were both there? He can't say it. You guys have the best Rocky podcasts.
And the thing is, and no offense to the Round 14 guys, they're actually not a Rocky podcast. That's what stung even more. They have covered Rocky on their show. Like they've done standalone episodes regarding the films. But we legit are a Rocky podcast. They cover Sly films. The Tulsa King is the thing they're covering right now. They're more of a Sly cast, and they'll do action films and standalone episodes. They did a whole episode on the guy that's saying the Margarita song. What's that guy's name?
Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah, they did a whole episode on Jimmy Buffett. But so the Jimmy Buffett guys are a better Rocky podcast than us? Anyways. So help cleanse my palate, Katie, and give us some good comments on our YouTube.
Yeah, it burns a little. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it stings. It stings after a while, It starts to sting.
All right, we have some YouTube comments from Eccentric Views. Aw, thanks for the plug, Ryan. Kyle, heaps of Italians and Greeks immigrated to Australia in the 50s and 60s. It's very common to hear an Italian with an Aussie accent. Both my parents were born in Italy. Just an update on my Rocky 4 cut. I've named it Rocky IV Redux.
It's actually pronounced Redux.
Is it? Because isn't it a French word? I'm dumb.
Yeah, but I think we say Redux, though, all the same. But
okay. Sorry.
I could be wrong too.
Dumb American over here.
No. I could be wrong too. We're French Canadians over here, so we should know this. But when Apocalypse Now came up with their Redux, that's the same. I hear people say Redux. So I don't know if I'm saying it the American way, but that's what I've heard people call the Apocalypse Now cut, the Redux cut. So I could be wrong too.
Okay, somebody told me. Okay, anyway, I like it. Either way, I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Another great episode, guys. Thanks heaps for the entertainment.
Oh, thanks, it's Centrifuge. That's, of course, Gino, the Italian Australian Gino. Put another meatball in the Barbie.
I had the flu last week, and while I was in bed, I got addicted to watching Border Security Australia. God, it's entertaining. I've watched a few of the Border Security ones, like the Canadian one and the American one, and some other ones. But the Australian one is my favorite one to watch.
I really like Australian
real characters shows that come through the Sydney airport customs. And I love
it like Cops?
There. Kind of. Like, it just shows people like they're coming through customs, and it's all the problem ones, like drug smugglers, or it's really common in Australia because like they have a sensitive ecosystem, so you can't bring any food or seeds or plants. And people from China have like a suitcase of like ducks and shit like that. They don't declare. It's awesome.
Oh my god!
The interactions are just like all the officers are just hilarious. Something about Australians, they're cool. I like them.
Well, I just watch a lot of Australian shows, like their style of humor.
Great. There's actually some great Australian cinema. So regarding his Redux, I should have had the picture ready. He sent me a Twitter message. Apparently he's sending me, I think he said you guys too, but he asked for my address. So I don't know. I shouldn't be speaking out of turn. Gino, let me know. But he's sending me, he made a Blu-ray. He actually made a Blu-ray and cover artwork for it and everything. He's sending me his copy via Blu-ray.
How cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very
and
cool.
I think he said, like he showed me that there's like 4 in a stack. So I think some are for you guys as well, but hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn. I don't think he's selling them. He's just giving them away.
I don't have anything that can play a Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, Gino, don't waste postage and handling on Kyle.
I won't. It's a waste of postage.
A waste of postage, yeah. So I can't wait to see it. Yeah, Katie does. Gino sent it to Katie. I'm actually looking forward to seeing it because this is the cut that I wanted. This is the cut we've talked about.
Yeah,
I wanted the cut
you're right.
Kept the robot and gave us the additional scenes. Perfect. I love it. So I'm very curious about what that looks like. Thanks, Gino. What do you got there?
The next one is from Robin Arrow. I think
Yeah, we haven't been confirmed on that, Robin. Let us know. I think so. I think because she didn't correct us on our last time we called her a female, she didn't correct us in this one. But
Robin says, crap, I was working on a project and missed the live. I will fix this one day. It was really fun to hear my comment in the episode and an honor to be in the shirtless Sly one. I'm kind of guessing she.
Or a gay man named Robin.
Maybe. Okay. I used to love Rocky V as a kid, but when I rewatched it last year, I ended up liking it way less. Let's see if Kyle is able to make me change my mind again. She says, I finished watching all of the Rocky 3 episodes and started the Rocky 2 ones. Oh, she working backwards. I'm having so much fun watching them. I don't really want it to stop. P.S. Happy late birthday, Ryan.
Oh, thank you, Robin. You're a sweetheart. I assume you're female as well. Let's just keep saying that till she corrects us. But very, very sweet of you. And welcome to the show. And it's good that we get more female listeners. We got 2 minutes. It's a bit of a sausage fest for this audience, So it's nice to have some female listeners. Okay. All right. Thanks, Robin. Who's next?
Eddie is my god. Just listen to the pod version right now and have to say the comment about Katie's voice is so accurate. Sorry, lads, but she steals the show every time. Aww.
No, jeez.
He must be from...
Go back to Robin. I want to hear what she had to say about me.
He must be UK also, lad, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think we do have a large UK audience, yeah.
Loved listening to every episode from Rocky 1 through to this excellent coverage of the criminally underrated part 5.
There you go.
Criminally underrated, he says.
Hey, she has good judgment, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, about the films, yes. I agree.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, shout out to the amazing Frank Stallone pod. Anytime a new episode of that pops up, I know the next hour is going to be spent laughing. Love the entire network. Everyone who makes those pods is doing brilliant work and keeps a lot of us fans smiling and happy all across the globe.
Even the round 14 guys, just kidding. All right, fine. They can be the best Rocky podcast. Thank you. What's his name again? Something, my lord. What's it called again?
Eddie is my god.
Eddie's my god. Eddie is my god. Oh, either Eddie Van Halen. That's probably who you might be referring to.
Okay.
I wonder. Let us know. Eddie is my god. That might be what he's referring to. Or Eddie from the Iron Maiden. The Iron Maiden mascot, I think, is called Eddie.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm guessing it's one of the two. Okay.
The last one is from The Misfit, and it's spelled fun, like Ms. Fit.
Right.
The THA. I like it. Okay. He says Eric Elder was the name of Tommy's best friend. Eric Elder is a real person and was actually Tommy Morrison's best friend.
Good old Sly. It's like, hey, do you have a best friend I could use? Yeah.
Imagine if you are Eric and then your name was in the in that movie. That'd be so cool.
The Misfit says Tommy asked Sly if he could use Eric's name instead of the generic name that was in the script, and Sly okayed it.
Well, I wonder how he found that out. I mean, I believe him, but I'm wondering how he knows. Like, where's that? Was it?
Maybe he knows Eric. Let us know, The Misfit. Yeah. How do you know this?
We got to get Eric Elder on the pod. We got to find him.
I like it.
All right. Well, speaking of trivia, you ready? Okay. Here we go. First question. Who says, "Behold, a Santa for all seasons"? Who says, "My ring's outside"?
I like your voices, Ryan.
My ring is outside.
My ring's outside. Yeah. All right. I guess we're gonna get 2 for 2 on this one so far. Last couple weeks were brutal, so then we're maybe in the easy zone now. Oh, I say that, but now, okay. What is Tommy's record with Rocky?
Oh my God.
I guess when he took over, remember they started the whole montage. He's fighting. He's Rocky's puppet.
God dang it. Because you watch these to set the scenes up.
What we're watching today for the director's cut version of things, like what I've added, that's all I've seen up to. I haven't seen anything past that.
Yeah, because like technically, you should know that technically, if you had like a really, really good memory, you could just think back to all the numbers.
I have a number. Like I know it's not 50-0 because he didn't fight that long, but we talked about how many fights he had in a certain period of time. Remember? I don't know if my number's right, but I think I'm in the ballpark.
God dang it.
Who says, "Take 2 more steps, I'm going to pound your teeth out"? Last one. Who says, "My head is a little busy right now"? And I believe that is in today's recording, so I actually know who says that. I have that ready for today. Okay. I got a solid 3 out of 5. There's 2 that I'm not sure about.
Yeah, this is a mixed bag today. We'll see how it goes.
All right, Katie's still thinking. I can only imagine Katie's a student. I can just see you taking.
I was a great student.
I know. I can see how you're taking these questions. Where I'm like, yeah, I think I got it. Let's go take the test. That's how I study. I think I got enough.
Just because I'm old and I can't. Just to prove that I'm not a dumb American, I graduated summa cum laude from my university. I was smart.
If anyone listens to the show thinks you're dumb, come on. I don't think anyone thinks you're dumb. Trust me, it's me. I think if you do an intelligence quota, it's probably me on the tier. You both are very intelligent people.
No, that was a long time ago.
I got gaps. You got gaps. Together we fill gaps, It's
just like Rocky said to his son with the scene we just watched. Sometimes you make me feel dumb, What do you mean? All right, so here we go. Speaking of, we got trivia. We did our emails. We got the reverse shout out for the round 14 podcast. So let's go and get to the film now. Here we go.
But hey, listen to me. We're in this thing together, so if you can figure out anyone on how to fix things up, don't be afraid to tell me, because we got to stick together, because what are we?
What?
What are we?
Home team.
Home team. You got that right.
Robert's kind of like, what the f are you talking about, Dad? Oh, yeah, home team. What are your thoughts on the home team?
I've always hated it.
It's a little forced, because sometimes I like having those little inside things with my kids, but everyone has to be kind of into it. And it's like, it seems like Rocky, he really wants this home team thing to go, and no one else does.
I don't have any nicknames for what do you call it? Like this kind of thing. Like, we're the Balkan rebels, or what? We don't have any kind of like moniker. That's the word for ourselves. So
now
I think
you
it's
are
cute. Yeah, I think it's cute what the dad's trying to do, like what Rocky's trying to do.
He's trying to
have a bonding moment. Oh, speaking of which, my kids just watched Rocky 5 the other day. I was at work. I work nights now, so they were watching this movie just 2 days ago. They watched Rocky 5
without you.
My son really wanted to watch it, and I didn't want to keep him waiting. That's how much I love my kids. I was like, he really wanted to watch the film, and I didn't want to keep him waiting. So anyways, what happened was they saw that Sage Stallone was in the credits. So they got on their devices.
And they didn't recognize him, though? Like they didn't?
No, they don't know Sage Stallone from Adam. Like they wouldn't know who he is.
I mean, like, oh, he really kind of looks like...
No, they didn't make that connection. I don't think. I think Milo Ventimiglia looks more like Sly than.
Good point. Sage looks like his mother with dark hair.
Yes, yeah. They Googled and they found out that he was dead. So they're watching the movie, and then now they're like, so they were kind of thrown off right away with. I know they were like, oh, Stallone, because at first they were excited. Oh, Stallone's son is playing his son in the movie. That's great. Where is he now?
Oh,
yeah. They went through a really roller coaster of emotions, but they loved the film, by the way. You have to keep in mind, like we watched this, like me especially, because I'm old. But I watched Rocky's three onward in the theater. So I watched each one as it came out in the theaters. So I went through this real journey of in those eras too. I was a kid of the '80s. I watched films in the '80s in the films theater. To them, it's like a mini series. They're not looking at this film as, oh, this isn't as good as 4. It's not as '80s as 4. I'm watching a family drama. They watch drama films. To them,
it's like another episode of the show. I see. Yeah.
They liked it. And I didn't pry like, what, you didn't like that you didn't fight in the ring? I didn't ask. I just said, what did you guys think of the film? Oh, they loved it. My son, who's, again, named after Sly, his name is Grayson Stallone. And I was really nervous that is he going to hate the Rocky films? And he loves them. He absolutely loves them. So anyways.
Did they know that the baby in 2 is also...
I told him that one's still alive.
Yeah.
With my daughter, when I drop her off at school, kind of wants to talk to me as little as possible.
Yeah.
No hugs, nothing like that. They're too cool for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I guess like, Rocky's like, okay, we're doing home team. He's like, yeah, Dad, home team. Yeah, let me leave now immediately because I do not want to be seen with you.
I like that moment there where that was my tangent because I was thinking of the actor Sage, who's now passed. So I like his acting where he's like, oh, yeah, home team. It was great. But it's a real moment between a father and son. Like, this is awkward. Yeah, Dad, we're cool. We're home team. Cool. Yeah, I'm off to school. So I agree, Kyle. It's a real moment between a father and a kid. It's not a Disney moment where a Disney moment would have been, yeah, Dad, home team.
I used to go to the school when I was a kid, nice bricks. Used to have good milk at lunch and everything. It was real tough then, but I think you can handle it, don't you think?
If you weren't here, I can go here.
That's kind of messed up because it's like if you went here, it's like, well, I'm a total pussy compared to you, so that doesn't make sense. I love the bricks reference. I forgot about that.
Same.
He is an expert in bricks, according to some people.
Yeah, according to Adrian, he knows a lot about bricks. Rocky and Adrian are at least on board about his brick knowledge.
By the time Rocky was Robert's age, he was probably already starting to like get in with the loan sharking and stuff.
Well, he only made it to 9th grade.
His middle school, right?
7th to 9th. His age is unknown. It's never really quite.
So Rocky would have gone to the school in like the late 50s, like early 60s. This neighborhood would have been a lot nicer back then. Like it probably was still a tough working class neighborhood, but this neighborhood would not have decayed. This school now probably has like metal detectors and like kids with guns and shit like that, which you wouldn't have had in the 60s. But you probably still would have had like lots of fist fights and stuff back then.
I'm not scared, really.
Really?
Well, I guess I'm a little scared. But that's normal, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, I had 72 fights coming up, and every one of them I was scared, so, yeah, that's real annoying.
That's nice. Again, a nice little moment. And I don't know what the problem with Sage's acting. I've watched a lot of TV and movies in the last 49 years, and his acting is just fine with his dad here. He got a lot of flack. I think he got a lot of nepotism flack. That's probably what it was.
I think so. I think he does a fine job. I think he does a great job. I don't understand the criticism.
I remember not liking it as well. Like, I remember being one of those people that was like, oh, he's not really great. But now, same, rewatching it, I'm like, oh, he's not bad. He's fine.
I think it's because you're prejudiced against Italians.
I'll see you later.
Okay, kid. Here's the front door.
I love that. The opening of the gate.
Hey, wait, what's this? What's it?
Dad, I gotta go.
Yeah, okay, I don't want you to be late on your first day. Here, use the side entrance, okay? Hey, wait, what's this?
So that was just a different cut there. The one cut was the front entrance, and the alternate cut was the side entrance. Why even film the different? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Why they have side versus front?
But I think this is one of the things that always rubbed me the wrong way about 5 is like it's corny. Again, Rocky's treating his 13-ish year old kid like he's 9.
Speaking as a parent, I'll tell you why. Because he's holding on to him. I'm maybe projecting, but when you see your kids grow up, you're like, oh. And so you're still doing little childish things with them. This is kind of that age where you're doing that, where I just did it with my son Grayson on the stairs today when he got out of bed. He's come down the stairs. I was like kind of like wrestling him a little bit, and Nugan was like, "Oh yeah, get that, yeah." But when he was 3, he would have been thrilled. There's a part of you as a dad or a parent where you're doing silly things. The kids love this kind of thing. They used to love this. This happens a few times in the film where Rocky's talking about Santa. He's trying to keep things fun and light and keep things young because he's, in some ways too, he's going back to where he wasn't there for his kill time with the training and travel around the world. And so it's a combination of his kids growing up and now I'm going to be silly and fun with you. And the kid's like, dude, this isn't silly for me anymore.
It's a really good point. And I understand doing it like in private, but he's about to send him into the like lion's den, so to speak. He knows this is rough and he's doing it in front of these tough kids. It seems odd.
Yeah, it's like a lack of awareness on his part.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Goodness gracious, where'd this come from? It's a strange place to stash your lunch money, don't you think?
Yeah, because now you're right. Robert's looking around like, oh, this is embarrassing. He looks around to see who's seeing me with my dad right now. He actually looked around.
It's a lunch joke,
Thanks, Dad.
Okay, listen. I'll see you later. Remember, Daddy loves you. You're number 1. Home team. Just be nice, right? You'll be okay. And don't mess with nobody's girlfriend. I don't like that around here.
I love how the kids surround him already like it's his first day in prison.
It is like prison. It is so like prison.
That was bad. When he's yelling, "Daddy loves you!"
Yeah, Daddy loves you.
Shut the fuck, Dad.
That's when Robert should literally pulled out a shiv and stab somebody right there, right? Assert dominance right away.
Yeah, you take another guy's girlfriend. Be like, she's mine now. That's how
Take Jewel right now.
Can I join the human race? Come on, I walk you to the gym. The streets ain't safe.
So, of course, this is the workers' print. We get an extra scene here where Paulie says, I'll walk you to the gym. The streets aren't safe. Paulie will take care of Rocky.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It helps to be in numbers.
Oh, yeah.
When you're alone, you're more of a target, although I think Rocky can handle himself on the streets just fine.
What's the face? You got a problem?
I'm dying here, Paul. This kid ain't ready for this stuff here.
Hey, nature rules, huh?
Nature rules what?
We went through this. It didn't hurt us. We turned out okay.
Really?
Yeah, nature rules, survival of the fittest is what he's trying to say there. We turned out okay is what Paulie was saying. Like, we made it through that system. We turned out okay. Rocky's like, really?
Did we? Did we though?
This, of course, is the workers' print extra scene. So I'm always going to ask you guys' thoughts on the extra scenes. Keep or throw away.
You can't understand a lot of what Paulie's saying because there's a smoke in his mouth.
Yeah, well, this is the audio's shite. We know the audio's shite. There's no captions, unfortunately, but yeah. But that's
kind of like it when Rocky's like, really? Like, we turned out fine. He's like, did we though? Like, I kind of like that.
And Donald, you're right. They don't like taking people's girlfriends anywhere you are, not just at that school. I'd recommend not doing that anywhere. Yeah. Yes, I agree.
It's weird that these girlfriends don't have a choice in the matter.
Their property.
There's property to be taken.
Yeah, absolutely.
What mirror are you looking into?
I love that. What mirror are you looking into? Remember the first Rocky film?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cut the person's head with a razor. Broke this mirror.
Because if the kid is going to go to school and he doesn't know anybody, there's a good chance he can get banged out. He was asking me why can he get banged out because he's my kid. If he was
the kid's gonna get beaten up because he's my kid. Like Rocky is self-aware enough to know that, like, because he's my kid, he's gonna be a target right away.
Yep.
Yeah, he knows how people here think. He knows like the politics and stuff like that. It's like a parent when you send your kid into a situation. Like, I know it's not the same, but like, say you send your kid to a daycare where, like, say there's kids that are bullies or that you don't really like the providers or something, but you don't really have a choice. It is hard letting go. Just sending your kid into that area and just hoping they're going to be okay. Like, that feeling of helplessness, that sucks.
like someone else's kid, they probably wouldn't bother him. But, he's going in there with the rep, he's like Rocky's kid, So if he gets hurt, I'm like, what am I supposed to do, Mick? Am I supposed to, come do his rep? Did you call me? What did I say?
He said Mick.
I meant to call you Paul. I didn't mean
the guy's in a box.
Because I don't know this movie that well. I can't remember if he mistakenly calls Paulie Mickey in the original either.
They did it originally, of course, in the beginning part of the film when Rocky calls Adrian Mick when he's in the shower. I just want to go home, Mick. Just want to go home.
Yeah.
Now he's doing it again. He called Paulie mix. So maybe they thought it was too. We've already done this. Now he's doing it again with Paulie.
I think it's great. I'm really sad this scene's not in here. I like this scene. I like how he's talking about his kid. I like how he said Mick like that. I love how Paulie's like, the guy's in a box.
It's showing us the roughness, rawness of the neighborhood too.
Yeah. No, this is all great. The walking away scene after dropping the kid off at school it's some great. It only took 35 seconds, 40 seconds. Yeah. Yeah. So he calls Paulie McNell, showing again his brain. His brain ain't screwed on right.
I tell you, nothing's working right in my head. I can't even know who I'm talking to. Exactly what.
So there you go. So he mentions my head's not screwed on right. Excuse me for being brain damaged. So that whole scene is taking place in the Rocky universe, but now we're getting to see what's in the original cut with Tommy about to introduce himself to Paulie and Rocky outside the gym.
What's gonna happen? Some wise guy's gonna come up to him because he might get it. They're just gonna come out and try to bang him out, give him a chief shot,
Mr. Balboa.
Yeah?
How you doing? My name's Tommy Gunn.
Yeah, how you doing?
Well, with a name like that, you better be tough.
Yeah, very true.
It ain't easy. Anyway, I come from Oklahoma.
Well,
I have an amateur's record of 45-1.
All right, so keep that in mind in the Rocky trivia. That might be a question that Rocky will ask later. What's his amateur record? 45-1. I'm going to write that down. So now, finally, folks, episode 6 of Rocky 5, we get the introduction of Tommy Morrison playing Tommy Gunn. Of course, my kids didn't Google him. I told them that he's also
dead. Interesting.
Yeah. They just saw him as a young actor. They didn't think anything of it. They didn't think. They only Googled Sage because they were curious because he was Stallone's son, but they didn't Google Tommy.
Tommy Gunn, by the way, is the name of an adult film star. Yeah.
Oh boy, you got to be
Google
careful.
Tommy Gunn. You might get some pictures you don't want to see, or maybe you do want to see. I don't know.
His kids probably don't. Did they have any thoughts about him as the opponent?
I didn't ask them what they thought of Tommy necessarily, or even how they felt about. I'll have answers ready for next episode.
Okay.
They're going to watch the Creeds right after. They're looking forward to that. So, yeah, Tommy Morrison, of course, documentary is coming out. I was interviewed for the Tommy Morrison documentary. I think it's coming out in 2025 is what I was told. I'm excited. Hopefully some of my sound bites. I was interviewed for almost an hour.
That's amazing.
They'll probably use 2 minutes. Oh, speaking of interviews, I'm getting interviewed Tuesday. I got called by the Philadelphia Tourism Department. They wanted to come on this podcast to talk to me about they're starting a new thing called Rocky Fest. This is the first year, and they want me to help plug it on the show. So this person who's in charge, I've got their name here. Sorry, I don't have the email ready. Sorry, but they reached out to me, and so I'm like, so I actually asked them, there was a back and forth. I'm like, so I said, just so you know, I'm a Rocky nerd. Yes, but I've never been to Philly. I can't speak to the sites. I can't speak to what. He goes, no, we're going to talk about the events. It's like a 6-day event this December.
This December, like in a month?
Yeah, December 3rd.
Or like 2 weeks?
It's part of the Rocky Day celebration.
I'm getting in my car. I'm driving there right now.
I know.
Yeah, I'll get there by December, probably.
It's going to be like a yearly thing, and they're going to sell the event on the show. And we said, no, we want to come on your show. And then they said, well, then plug your show via our.
You should be whatever. Like, hey, send me to Philly.
Yeah. I don't know how deep their pockets are to fly me out.
Okay, so just say, hey, man, I've never been to Philly. I just really like to go. Just kind of drop hints like that.
But there's a good chance I might be going back to Victoria in the summer of 25. So back West Coast. So nothing is official. I'll find out by February, March 1st type area. ... If that's the case, then I am definitely driving down with at least 2 of my sons. We're going to go to Philly May, June of 2025. So
nice.
So once it's official, I'm going to announce it because anyone that is in the area that wants to do it, nobody cares about me. But if you really want to hang out with me, say hi, we could grab a beer, burger, see the steps together. Oh, and another thing is regarding the Frank Stallone podcast. I know you guys don't follow Frank Stallone, but a bit of a teaser spoiler here of that episode that you haven't heard yet, if you're listening to this, is Sly commented on one of Frank's posts because Frank called out the city of Philadelphia and called them garbage pretty much for being who they were before the elections, before they became a red state. He was calling them out. So he was basically saying, I've lost all respect and love for Philadelphia.
Oh, shut your mouth, Frank.
So Frank wrote that on his Instagram. Sly responded, just so you know, Frank, type. What they're doing, the city that sucks so much, what they're doing is they're putting a second statue at the top of the stairs now. So they're going to have 2. Because there's 3 Rocky statues that all look the same. They're all built. Sly had one. One was still being owned by the artist, and then one's on the stairs. Well, they're putting a second one at the top, so that way people who don't have access to the top of the stairs will still have the bottom one. But people who want to run up the stairs, you're going to have a second one at the top of the stairs. And Sly was basically saying, "So this is the city that sucks so much, Frank. This is what they're doing for Rocky."
Even before that, Philly is Rocky.
Sly rarely, if ever, has commented on Frank's post. I follow Frank kind of closely. That's the first time I've ever seen Sly, and that's funny. Frank didn't like it. He didn't comment on it, but he didn't take it down because he knows better not to take his brother spoke.
Oh, he got his hand slapped.
Yeah.
Well, he needed it.
That we talk about that on the Frank Stallone episode that's coming out. Anyways, a lot of information. Sorry, they've got my brain everywhere. So yeah, I'm getting interviewed. Philadelphia, it's being done. I'm going to be dropping it very quickly. So there's going to be kind of a heavy week of Frank, Rocky, and interview this week. A lot of different episodes coming out this week. So hopefully you guys aren't sick of me by the end of the week.
And I turned pro at 18 and I had 8 fights. You're a fighter? Yeah, I'm a fighter.
There's a trivia question. Remember we asked when he turned pro?
What age he was when he turned pro? Remember we all thought it was 17?
Yeah, we thought it was 17 for some reason.
I still missed it. Rewind it. I was reading Donald's comment that Harris ended her campaign at the Rocky Steps, so that's why Frank was so...
That's why he was mad. Okay. Interesting. I forgot about that. Oh, that's why Frank got bent out of shape. That's probably one of the same. Okay. Interesting.
Yes, the city of Philadelphia should have been like, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have freedom of speech or anything. Yeah. You can't.
Only one side gets the freedom of speech, don't you know?
Yeah.
Thank you, Donald. That's context for his post. So I was wondering why he was doing that. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Wow, give him a chief shot, you know? I mean, jeez.
Mr. Balboa.
Yeah?
How you doing? My name's Tommy Gunn.
Yeah, how you doing?
Well, with a name like that, you better be tough.
Yeah, very true.
It ain't easy. Anyway, I come from Oklahoma.
Well,
I have an amateur's record of 45-1. And I turned pro at 18 and I had 8 fights.
You're a
I had 8 fights at 18, turned pro. So there you go. It was 18. I don't know why I thought 17, but Rocco was right. The answer was right in the trivia book. Yeah. Rocky's like, you're a fighter. Yeah, I'm a fighter, you moron. Yeah, you dumb dago. That's what I said.
Yeah, I'm a fighter. And now that I'm 20, I'd just like to show you what I got.
Well,
I mean, I've saved up about $400.
Mr. Robert Rocky Balboa.
Yeah. What?
Excuse me, young man. I have some business here. Thank you.
Poor Tommy got rock blocked there by George Washington Duke, pushing him aside. What are your thoughts on Tommy overall? I mean, I feel like he's aged better too as time has gone on. I think he falls in the same category as Sage. I think I was hard on Sage when I was younger. I was hard on Tommy when I was younger. But now that time has gone on, I'm like, oh yeah, this is just a real boxer.
I don't feel like his acting's that bad.
It's not that great, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I have no issue with him in this film.
Yeah, I concur with Ryan. I think I was harder on him. He's not, same with Sage. Like, they're just not to the level of the other movies, acting-wise and stuff like that. They're not bad. There's nothing wrong with it.
About Tommy, it's not his fault. It's his character's fault. The way that he betrays Rocky. And so I think a lot of people have actually conflated. It's just like,
you're right.
It happens in modern times. It actually happens to the kid that played Joffrey in Game of Thrones. He's had literally people get angry at him.
I was talking about this at work the other day with the Star Wars prequels about like the guy who played Jar Jar Binks gets like death threats and stuff from people. And I'm like, who are you? You would actually treat another human being that way for a movie you don't like.
Yeah. These are the people we share the planet with.
Yeah.
Katie. Oh, Katie. Okay, I agree. I know it's funny. There are neighbors, there are coworkers. We're all mixing this wonderful mess together. I love it. But anyways, yeah, I think part of the Tommy flack wasn't his acting. I think it was his character was such a dick at the end. When are you going to give me my chance? When are you going to let me fight? Where's my money? And I think he did a good job portraying this guy who betrays Rocky. Even Apollo never betrayed Rocky. Even Dolph, in his own weird way, never betrayed Rocky. Just happened to kill his best friend in the ring, but it wasn't personal. It wasn't an attack on Rocky. Like, it's funny how Tommy was kind of the first character to really bring Rocky into his world, have Rocky envelope you with love and support, and then he'd be like, "Yeah, you're taking too long. Get out of here. I want my money." And everyone's like, "You dick."
Yeah, like I think people see that the true villain is Duke. Yeah. Tommy's basically just a young, impressionable, dumb. He has low emotional intelligence and is easily manipulated by others. And Duke is good at manipulating anyway. Money and luxury and women and everything to get Tommy on his side.
Redhead. Love that redhead. She's very boozmy.
That's funny the way you said that.
I love it.
Good to see you again, friend. How you doing?
How you doing?
My health is fine. What more could a man ask for?
Money in hair.
Listen, I gotta go.
I love that. Paulie, quick with the quips.
He is.
What more could a man ask for? Money and hair. It's so true.
And Sly wrote that.
Yeah, fair. And Sly has both. He's able to buy hair with his money. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Now Duke's asking, what, Ritu? So there's so much.
Rocky says he's working.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm working here. And he said, what, here? Sweatbox?
Mickey's gym.
Yeah, that's right. So they're both talking so fast.
Wham, yeah, and a sweatbox. Can't be too good for the image.
Urban Light. What are you gonna do?
Hey, Rocky.
What'd you say?
Urban Light.
It's Blight, Urban Blight. Rock, Joe.
So funny. It's actually kind of funny acting and dialogue. You've got 3 different conversations happening here. You got Duke talking to Rocky, Paulie interrupting, Rocky talking to Paulie. It's supposed to be serious, but it's actually funny.
I think that's probably a legit homeless person.
Oh, probably.
In the background, and they have like all their stuff there, like a basket or cart. I think it's a cart.
Shopping cart.
Yeah.
Is it easier to have a real bum in the background or to hire somebody, dress them up as one, and fill up their car with props to look like fake garbage?
And the Sly methodology is real bum.
Yeah. Again, the kids and I are watching the Rocky films together, and we were watching part 2. Was it part 2? Actually, no, it was the first film where Rocky is running to his apartment, and that's where he sees Adrian with the red coat, and Butkus is presented. But it just shows Sly, I should say. So Sly's running. It's all guerrilla style filming. But as we know, the first film was like they put up a camera, they just filmed it, and they just moved on without a license. They kept doing that throughout Philly. And so Sly is running down the street at the sidewalk, and there's 2 kids sitting, playing outside on the steps, like on the sidewalk. They were probably 3 years old. They weren't put there for the film. They were naturally just there. 2 kids in the middle of the sidewalk playing rocks or whatever. No parents. If they weren't 3, they were 4. Like no more than 4. It's insane back then. It's just crazy to think. Just kids, my 3-year-olds are out there.
They'll be all right.
They'll be all right. Right,
it's on a main street. You know, it's only local traffic there.
Would you put 2 3-year-olds there today alone on the?
I wouldn't allow 2 dogs there. They'll get hit by a car. No.
It's just crazy. We talked about how quickly from 76 to 90 in 14 years, how much the city's changed. It seems like 30 years, but it's only been 14.
I think part of it's the crack epidemic of the 80s. Like the crack epidemic hit super hard. And the 80s are often seen as like a really prosperous time in America. And on average, it was. But it was like kind of an unequal prosperity.
Well, you can see the line graph starting from about 1980 to now. Like that's when the disparity started. Like it goes like this. Like that's when the disparity starts to happen, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse over time. Reaganomics, people, it didn't work.
All right. Well, I don't want to get political, but Trump will turn around in 4 years. Okay, here we go. Next.
Sure. I'd like you to consider putting on those damn gloves again. It's a hell of a payday.
Well, you know, I'm officially expired.
No, you do have marquee value. You put butts in the buckets, asses in the seats.
Speaking of the Tyson fight, it's funny. 1990, we're getting this dialogue from this promoter saying, you have marquee value. So Rocky's saying, I've expired, which is his clever way of saying I've retired. So he's not wrong. He's like, I'm not my prime anymore. Like, I'm done. I'm not a boxer anymore. My legs are broke. My head's broke. But the promoter, Don King, George Washington Duke, he's actually correct. You have marquee value. You're Rocky Balboa. You'll put butts in the seats. It's a show. This is the dialogue that Tyson was getting. It's the same idea.
Good point.
This man with any sort of brain don't retire when he can still pull in the bread, baby. Because only in America do we get these kind of opportunities.
Man, it's crazy how much art and life and art are the same.
And he's like poking at him with, well, if you had a brain, you'd say,
any businessman with a brain. Well, we know Rocky in business.
Yeah. Speaking of my brain, it's permanently damaged from getting hit so many times. Ergo, I don't want to be like an invalid after getting hit in the head for a few dollars. Or I'd take the chance still.
Oh, sure. I would take $5 million to have Logan punch me in the head for a round. Sure.
Yeah, I'd do it.
So now Duke is saying, he says Union Kane's going for the title on the 14th. Okay. Who is he fighting?
It's just some bum.
Kane's going for the title on the 14th.
Uh-huh.
Here, here's some tickets. Be our guests.
We have a strong feeling about this one. I think he's going to take it.
That's the time to challenge.
And then he's saying right after he wins it, that's when you challenge Kane. Okay.
Kane, he's in the ring holding the belt. Then they bring Rocky up, and Rocky's like, I'm here to take back my title.
I want the opportunity to take what you got.
Oh, that's such a poorly delivered. That's one of the worst deliveries. That Union King, again, a real boxer, by the way, not an actor.
Boxers do talk like stupid like that, so it's like that kind of makes the movie good, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? What do you mean? The boxers don't talk like that. Yeah. Did you see Tyson's butt on Netflix? That was a real thing. I
thought that was photoshopped.
That's real. So he's getting interviewed by somebody. I'm going to destroy him, and then he walks away, and he's wearing like a sumo wrestler underwear thong. That was his real ass. So I was like, what? Was that? Is the funniest?
I missed it because I didn't turn it on until like a half hour after
you'll see memes. There's gonna be so many memes.
Yeah.
There already is memes.
That's where I've seen it because I didn't watch that part live.
Same.
There's no explanation. He's just half naked.
I just don't care anymore. You can see my butt. It's okay. It's just a butt. We all have them.
Yeah, sure. Why not? That's funny.
Evander Holyfield couldn't hear that. He couldn't hear anything.
I mean, I know Tyson bit his ear off, but I didn't know it took his hearing too.
I think people were kind of making fun of Netflix, like they didn't have all their ducks in a row. Maybe.
Again, not a bad production in all seriousness. It was not a bad production. Hiccups for sure, but Netflix they're doing more. There's more live events. They're just going to learn from this.
No, I think it's good.
I got excited about boxing. These are good matches, so job well done. And the show at the end was the show at the end. I wasn't surprised. I would have been surprised had it been a real fight. That would have been surprising. I already knew it was going to be a show.
I'm so naive. I thought I was still hoping. I still had hope.
No. People who get upset about that are, no offense to, I was saying you, Katie. I'm just saying they're the same people that think wrestling's real.
Well, I know better. I mean, it's just sort of like it. Well, you know what it is? It's the same reason why I still get nervous before Rocky fights. I know what the outcome is, but it's like a thing my brain can't. I don't know.
Yeah. And look, I was hopeful too. I was like, in fact, the first few seconds when Tyson came out a little bit strong, like, oh, okay, maybe we got something here. But by round 2, it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. It's a legacy.
The way he stepped out and how he was like, couldn't really walk right. I was like, he's he can't move. Like he can't really move around the ring. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, no, this is not happening.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
we got what we got. The announcer, for example, if it was rigged or scripted, the announcer wasn't in on it. He kept saying, I forget the name of the individual. I think it was a boxer in real life.
Roy Jones Jr. And Rosie Perez. I love Rosie Perez.
Yeah, she was great. She was funny, actually.
Roy Jones kept debating that announcer about the mouthpiece.
Yes, that's right.
And
biting the glove.
Neither of them could let it go.
No.
Yeah,
right? And they asked Tyson. They asked Tyson. He's like, that's just a thing I do.
The announcer was right because Roy Jones was insisting it was a problem with the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
But they couldn't agree to disagree on it. I'm like, you're taking the whole commentary debating this.
Let it go.
Let it go. You're the champ.
And the other thing they kept talking about was Roy Jones. He kept saying that Tyson's legs were gone. So that was why I could tell that it wasn't like fake because he couldn't get over it. He's like, man, his legs are gone. That's not the Tyson I fought. His legs are not working. He's done. They're kind of giving real commentary. The fact that this is not disappointing, but they're like, this is kind of cringe. Tyson's shot. He shouldn't be in the ring. And I felt bad. I
like, I don't know why Jake's not teeing off on him right now. I'm like, I know why.
Because it's a modicum of show. Well, it's a show, and it's also like, does he want to be the guy that just pummels a 58-year-old? He even knew that.
Yeah, if he puts Tyson in the hospital, Tyson, very controversial in the past, but he's quite beloved now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Tyson has been forgiven for a lot of things.
He paid his crimes, both to society, did jail time, and
all is like, we love to hate him.
Oh, he embraced
collectively. So yeah,
he came out in his car or whatever. Like, I loved it. I thought it was funny because he's embracing. He was kind of like Apollo Creed with the float. That was the idea. Like
I liked him a lot better after that fight. I'm not saying I like him in general, but I thought he did a good show. I thought
partially great. Because there was deference to my, he bowed all of that. Yeah.
No, that went a long way with me.
I think it was a win for everyone. I think at the end of the day, Katie, we're just never going to see the fight that people wanted to see because it can't exist in this universe. He's 58, he's 27. Now, if they're both 27,
no serious person would debate a prime Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. That'd be like if I decided to fight either of those guys right now, I would lose. I would lose. Legs or no legs or whatever. Like, it's not a conversation.
No.
Mike got in pretty good shape, though. 58 years old. He looked pretty good.
Great shape. Like, Mike Tyson would easily beat up the average person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If I got in a slug match with him, the first hard punch, I'd be like unconscious. With all respect to Jake Paul, he was moving around and fighting like a real boxer. Will he become champion of the world? No. He's not that level. But he does have the level of fighting like a professional fighter. Like, you have to give him those props. He's not a fake boxer. He's not the best boxer, but he's not fake. He's a legitimate boxer.
He's trying to be a real boxer in his own right. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a novice fighter, right? There's lots of other novice boxers around. They're real boxers. You don't say they're fake. You take someone who's 27 who can actually box, they're going to beat a 57-year-old or 58-year-old.
We haven't seen the last of him. He's going to be in the ring again. He'll be in the ring again. I think this next fight will be the most legit. One of the whatever title holder / I think somebody's already challenged him. There's some big name I think has already kind of said, I'll do it.
The heavyweights now are huge. Jake Paul's only 6'1".
They were both like 220 something pounds.
Yeah, that's heavyweight. That's a small heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of heavyweights in the 240s. They're like 6'8", like Tyson Fury, or like Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk. He's only 6'6", like 230 something pounds. And he was small compared to Tyson Fury.
Oh boy.
Love comebacks. And there's nothing in the boxing business more commercial than a long shot comeback of a down on his luck pure Snow White underdog. Not like your Mark Twain once said, virtue has never been as respectable as money.
Who's Twain? He was a painter.
Look.
Who's Twain? He's a painter.
Love it.
I love that.
I forgot about that.
True. He was a painter.
Honestly, without Rocky's brain damage thing, Duke is making a lot of sense.
Like, he's cold-hearted business. Is he evil, though?
Because Duke knows about the medical stuff. He knows about the brain damage.
Well, athletes get taken advantage of.
Yeah, but you're right.
Yeah,
they do.
or like the way he manipulates Tommy and stuff like that. Like, for him, he just cares about making money.
But you're right. The bottom line is the dollar. Right. Fair enough.
Like, the only way he'd care about Rocky being hurt is that, I can't use him again in future fights. Like, he has no regard either way for Rocky as a person. Like, that doesn't matter whatsoever.
He stirs the pot. He pulls, of course, Tommy away from Rocky. He initiates all of that drama. Absolutely. He doesn't care about anyone's feelings. You and I, us three here, we wouldn't do that to somebody.
In like capitalism, or I don't know if it's capitalism, but corporatism, the idea was, and I was taught this in business school, if you're a corporation, your only obligation is to maximize shareholder wealth. Jeez. Period.
Ugh.
Now, and we see that, and we see the repercussions of that.
Now, there can be some who voluntarily have certain ethical policies or environmental policies or whatever that go beyond that. But in general, that's how it is. Your goal is to maximize shareholder wealth. In Duke, while not a corporation, kind of has that mentality.
The almighty dollar.
His only obligation is to maximize my personal wealth. Period. He isn't necessarily doing anything illegal, but for sure immoral. Because there's many immoral things that are not necessarily illegal. So
100%.
He's the personification of greed and the ugly side of capitalism.
Well put, Kyle.
Yeah, there you go. Well said.
Put, you're the great white hope.
You mean great white dope? No, forget
No, right.
Hey, don't run yourself down like that. Come on, you got to remember who you are.
You can't forget that, can you? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Union Kane?
No, everybody knows Union Kane is a slick fighter, but the man has no charisma. Zero. Now, Union Kane can fight 5 other contenders.
But who cares?
Nobody's going to buy the tickets.
I ain't emotionally involved in boxing.
Hold the bullshit.
Okay, so that's the extended scene there where they're explaining Union Kane is not a draw. So he's making it clear, look, it's about money. Look, yes, Union Kane in the world of boxing could fight 5 other people. He's a decent boxer, sure. But that's not what draws people. People need a storyline. They need, why are we watching this fight? What's the story here?
Union Kane is like the Mason Dixon.
Yeah, they're talking about the person. This is Sly investigated the same storyline later in Rocky Balboa. Yeah, he took a fighter who was like, sure, you're good, but nobody cares. And that's what got under Mason's skin. So it's interesting that Sly had the storyline written down somewhere that he takes later. So yeah, you beat me to it, Kyle. Dang you.
Yeah, you have the final editing authority, so you can make it seem like the other way.
Yeah, let me put this in. I'm glad nobody brought that up. I'm glad I did. There you go. No, I'm on this exact same page. It basically had Union Kane as the Mason Dixon character. Absolutely, yeah.
I know what the problem is. You think I was born yesterday, Merlin. Show him the paper. Now, this is your medical report. It's not so good, but we can work around it.
Where'd you get this?
It really doesn't matter, does it, right?
What matters is that doctors in this country tend to overreact. You know what I'm saying? But forget about all of that. You agree to fight Kane, and Georgia can guarantee you get licensed in any country in the world.
Guarantee. You can do this?
No problem.
Another little extended scene there where Duke's henchman is just basically saying, look, doctors overreact. We can get a second opinion, and that a second opinion will be one that says you're fine. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's just their way of saying we can buy out another doctor. Look, state's witness or defense lawyers, they always seem to find the witnesses or the experts, I should say, that always seem to align with their case, so to speak. And that's what they're saying here too. It's like, well, we'll find a doctor that says you're good to go. And now Rocky's legit like, oh, yeah, you know, you can do this. You can do this for me. But he's not happy to be here.
No, like that's what I'm saying, man. If I'm Rocky, I'd be like, all right. He'll probably be making more money this way playing hard to get.
Sure.
And if he would, like, say, if he would have accepted a fight right at the gate after he got off the plane.
True.
I want to reference Donald's comment here in the chat. Do you like the callback to the term emotionally involved?
Yeah.
Not emotionally involved here, Bob.
Very good point. Yeah, I love that callback. That's right. I mean, emotionally involved. He says it. He says it once in the original cut. Then he brings it up again the work print cut. Then that was the last time he said it was that Bob character. Well, he's back with the hat on, the jacket. It kind of comes out of him. The same dialogue he uses at the docks. It comes out of him. Now, of course, Rocky's on board. There's a part of his brain is like he's listening now to Duke. He broke through. You can see in his face. Of course, Paulie's on board. And now I love how Adrian, she comes running out. And I love Duke's response to this. Like, she arrives like magic. She disappears.
And well, I think Rocky was already thinking too, like, God, how many times have I tried to spin this same conversation with Adrian? How am I going to do it?
Look, I love Adrian. But boy, the only reason why we got Rocky Balboa is because she was dead. The character was dead because there's no way Adrian let him fight again at the age of 60.
No fucking way.
Sly is only 44 here. Like, relax, Adrian.
I don't think he'd want to fight, actually, if Adrian was still there. I think that's part of the reason.
Let's pretend Adrian suffered the woman's cancer 3 years ago and he lost to Drago. Or sorry, he won Drago. All the stuff. Would he be caring about this right now, do you think? Is that what you're saying? Like, he wouldn't care about getting out of this mess?
In Rocky Balboa, I don't think he would have had the urge to fight had Adrian not died.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, the beast in the basement would have been there. That's right.
Yeah. That's my.
You didn't leave me, Paulie. She died.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
But if Adrian died of the woman's cancer here, Rocky would for sure be taking this fight. Like, no question.
That's true because the beast would have been in the basement at a younger age.
Yeah, and he's like, I could go back and visit her soon if I take this fight. Then my son.
Yeah, he's like, what do I have to lose? Oh, remember, you still have a kid, but whatever.
And
Scumbag's in the bag and worth millions. The time is hot. The deal is hot. Caliente.
We could use one more payday.
I agree. Adrian, where'd you come from? Mrs. Balboa just appeared. This woman is magic.
Look, I don't think you're very funny.
Look, I'm not.
That was pretty funny, Adrian. I'm sorry. That was pretty funny. It's almost like Duke has watched all the other films. Like, oh yeah, here she is again, money blocking.
I just feel so bad for Adrian here because she's the only voice of reason, and people are not taking her seriously.
She's short too. Is Talia Shire that short? Because Rocky's not tall. Is Rocky on lips?
It's the angle. It's the angle.
I'm sure Sly's wearing in platforms right now. Yeah, man, the guy can't remember the actor's name. The one who plays
his
Duke.
name is Sorry,
he's tall.
He's real. He's a big guy, man. Holy cow!
4'6" in real life.
Yeah, like he dwarfs Stallone.
Talk my husband into fighting again.
Talking business now, darling. Do you like feeling hard up? Do you like reaching in your pocket and only feeling your leg? Well, do you? I didn't think so. I'm offering you your last golden opportunity to dump this loser image.
Oh, you.
Sorry. Dump this loser image. Oh, his way with words is amazing. Again, Sly's writing. I love it. And of course, Adrian, you're right. She's a fighter.
Talking to.
Adrian, you ain't working across.
Hey, whoa. What the hell are you two people talking about, huh? This is a tremendous opportunity.
Yeah, Rocky, when she first jumped out of the street, he actually says right away, it wasn't captured, but you could hear it. He says, where did you come from? So he's confused. Like, how is she here? Why
is just now finding out that she's working there.
Find out that he's employed by Gloria again across the street. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. They don't talk, these two, ever, do they?
Well, they're not in the same scene together. We don't. I guess we only see how they talk to each other in the movie. You're right.
Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine going to bed knowing you're going to go to the pet shop to work the next day and not telling your spouse about it? Like, that's so.
Well,
weird.
you could argue she was just going around the neighborhood to see who's hiring, and she just finished talking to Gloria when this event took place, so she hasn't yet. So, but I know it is funny how. Rocky with the fight in Russia, she didn't know about it when she's driving home from work. They don't converse with each other.
I think maybe Adrian had it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission approach to working at the pet shop, where I think she didn't want to tell Rocky because she knew he wouldn't like it.
Well, Rocky should have the same for that guy. Easier to get forgiveness than permission when he fights.
Yeah, man, you got to grow a pair, Rocky, and risk brain damage.
They don't have any income.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's probably making a little bit running the gym here because he's getting membership fees and stuff.
Yeah.
Although they would have had to invest money to get that place up and working order again.
Oh, so that's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. I wonder who did pay for that cleanup and everything. Yeah. The plumbing, does the plumbing work? Yeah.
Yeah. So potholes, but
opportunity for who? For you to make money, for him to be disabled? What would you do if the choices were reversed?
Great question. And I love the fake, George Washington Duke's character is like, bravo, woman. It's really well done. It's like, because she does give a very good impassioned speech. Like the character does a very good, Adrian's like, yes. What would you do if it was reversed? Like, this is where he is a dick because that should affect a normal human being. But he's like, his response is fantastic.
You have to think about that. I care about you.
He just claps. Oh, bravo, woman. Bravo.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Right in front of I'm surprised Rocky in this whole part doesn't punch him out right now because he's really disparaging Adrian in front of Rocky. He does mention, hey, don't talk to my wife.
Rocky is actually not the best for sticking up for himself.
No, for his wife. Because remember he got mad at Clubber saying,
Yeah, that when he's like, hey, man, I don't take you to my apartment.
I understand it's sexual in that moment, but still.
Yeah, if you cross a certain line, Rocky will, but it takes a lot for Rocky to actually stick up for himself or for other people.
He's a lover underneath it all.
I don't think he's intrinsically violent.
Mm-hmm. No.
He fights for pay.
Right.
So the song "The Hurricane," I do this for pay, and when it's all over, I'll soon be on my way.
You want to get serious? Let's get serious. You represent the dreams of the long shots, the little people, the never wills that identify with you. And identification is the key to public success. You're a true champion, a true product of the people. Don't sell it. Sell it while there's still buyers. They ain't gonna last forever. You say you're a fighter, then fight. You say you want a champion's due, then do it, and I'll make you so much money you can swim in it. You can swim, can't you, darling? What do you say? Come on, put it there. It's time to put some hustle behind this muscle.
He's good.
It's dialed up to 20. I mean, it is intense.
What makes the devil good, if you want to talk fantasy here, but what makes the devil good is he'll tell you truths to entice you. The idea is he's not lying. He's telling Rocky truths. He is the people's champion. He is a fighter. He is the hope of all these people. That's who his character is. So to keep that going, we need to put some hustle behind the muscle. We need to strike while the iron's hot. So he's saying truths, despite your brain damage. Don't worry about it. But here's some truths to get you on the hook.
He's done fighting.
You are damn fool. Maybe we ought to sign Mrs. Balboa to fight Kane, huh? Looks like she's the one with the cojones in the family.
That's the part I'm saying that I'm surprised. I'm not a fighter myself, but if I had someone tell me that to my face, because he's insulting my wife to a degree, we're a partnership, right? So the fact that you're trying to tear us apart, you're insulting me and my wife at the same time, I would have shoved him or something.
I think he took it internally. He's like, yeah, he's kind of.
Oh, he had stung him.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a shock because he does say right here. Wait, right here.
Yo, you don't talk like that in front of my wife, you know? There ain't no park bench, boy.
But I do love that delivery. You damn fool. I love that.
It is good.
Okay, so here we go. Katie, who says, behold, a Santa for all seasons?
Behold, a Santa for all seasons.
Yes.
I have George Washington Duke.
Correct. Kyle.
Yeah.
Who says,
I have that.
My wings outside?
That would be Mr. Balboa, Mr. Rocky.
Balboa. I didn't trick you with my voice.
You tried.
That one? I tried. Okay.
I'm curious about 3.
So I say he was 13-0. But
I have 10.
I have 6. I feel like mine's too low.
Yours is low, Kyle, I think. Oh, way higher than 17-0.
Wow.
How did they have 17 fights?
Well, we talked. That's what I mean. We talked about the timeline. That's why we're saying that montage of him fighting and rising the ranks. We could argue it was 2 years, and that's why the kid is whatever. Okay. Yeah, Katie, who says, "Take 2 more steps, and I'm going to pound your teeth out."
I have that kid Chippy or whatever his name is, that bully kid.
See, Katie, I was with you. I couldn't remember who said it. And I thought, was that Paulie in the restaurant at the end?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's not.
No, Kyle's right. I'll give it to Kyle. He got the wrong nickname. It's Chicky, but that's fine.
Chicky. Fuck, I always mess that one up.
But Kyle, good job. Yeah, you're right. Chicky, one of the kids that bully Robert. Good job, Kyle. Now, Kyle, can I ask you truthfully, would you remember that had you not seen the film last month?
Yeah, I could hear it in my head.
Okay, all right, fair. Wow,
I didn't remember, and I watched it.
We've established your memory.
Yeah,
Katie's the control group here.
Okay, and Kyle, last one. Who says my head's a little busy right now?
I think that's Rocky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Rocky. It's going to be a scene coming up very quickly. I thought we'd get to it today, but that's okay. We had great. I'm in no rush to get through the films because once these films are done, we're done. A lot of happened. Obviously, the Tyson fight was a big discussion. That's a big discussion. Look, that's really falling into the realm of our Rocky journey. That's a big real world event. So I think it was worth discussing what we did. And Kyle, did you get 5?
I got 4. I got the number of fights on. Katie, you and I are now tied.
I know. You're going to surpass me easily. 5 is just not, not my movie.
You still have Rocky Balboa to get me, though.
Okay.
You're going to study it hard. I know you. You're going to do that summa cum laude bullshit on me.
I love how I'm not even the discussion. Yeah. Well I'm just over here in third place.
Actually, maybe that's your movie, Ryan. Maybe 6 is your movie.
I'm the Union Kane of this trio now. Okay.
You're the eye candy of the podcast, Ryan.
No, stop it. No. Katie is with the voice and everything, apparently. But with that, this episode's over.
I didn't hear no bell.
I just want to say one